Hello and welcome to Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Dr. Joel Wallach, your host, a veterinarian and physician. And I'm here for kids and baby boomers and seniors who don't want to die at 75.5 like their parents and grandparents. I'm here for kids and baby boomers and seniors who don't want to be sick and miserable for the last 15 to 20 years of their life like their parents and grandparents. I am a conservative. A lot of people say I treat them like dogs, but they do seem to get better. Now, if you have a personal health challenge you want to ask about, if you have a health challenge of a friend, a loved one, a workmate, or if you want to talk about medical politics or the home-based business opportunity, give us a call toll-free at 1-888-379-2552. And that's toll-free, 1-888-379-2552. Well, I want to go back to Watson and Crick, James Watson and Francis Crick, James Watson, American, and Francis Crick, a Englishman. 1953, they presented the proposal for the double helix structure of DNA. 1962, 9 years later, they got the Nobel Prize for that. Everybody confirmed their original structure proposal. 2001, the human genome was published, 2001. And then in March of 2013, the Salk Institute in the University of California, San Diego, UCSD, invited James Watson to give a 60-year update. Okay, it's been 60 years. What diseases are we going to see cured initially? Which one? Which 5? Which 10 are going to be cured with all the knowledge of the human genome and everything we know about DNA at this point? And Watson said, all the experiments we've been doing have been irrelevant. That was his word, irrelevant. And you can sequence the DNA of 150,000 people a day, and you're not going to cure cancer, diabetes, or other diseases thought to be genetically transmitted because they are not. It is not genetics. It is chemistry, a.k.a. biochemistry, a.k.a. nutrition. Well, at the same time, parallel, since 1962, I've been working on the concept of epigenetics, where the genes function is controlled by outside forces, primarily nutritional forces, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, fatty acids. We know that enzymes, we know that DNA just don't work without these cofactors. And this is why we have birth defects of all kinds, and this is why we have inborn errors in metabolism, such as lactose intolerance and PKU and sickle cell anemia and these sorts of things. And so finally, the book that came out just this last month, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. And we're talking about diabetes and heart disease and Alzheimer's disease, cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, all these kinds of things, all these weird situations where the kids are born with some enzyme or some protein missing, and they're told by their pediatrician or the OBGYN that they're the only person on earth that has this genetic defect, and they're missing XYZ22 zippy enzyme, and that's why they can't eat this kind of protein and so forth, or they can't make this protein to defend themselves, and they have autoimmune disease, and it's all a bunch of nonsense. It's actually just simple nutritional deficiency diseases. So I urge everybody to contact their longevity associate and get 2 books, because they kind of relate to each other. One is Immortality, looks at the top 20 longevity cultures and around the world, and it shows you that they're all illiterate third world cultures, the top 20 longevity cultures. Now, by accident, Ms. Shar, the gal who's my sidekick here on this show, and I were having lunch at the restaurant, and there was a guy in the next booth, and we were talking to him, and he was saying that his father lived to be 117. And the first question I asked him, did your father, and obviously he's your father, and so you grew up with him, put wood ashes in the garden? He says, oh, yeah, we did it every day. We put the wood ashes in the garden. And he got this little twinkle in his eye. He says, was that important? Yeah, because that's where we're recycling the minerals. And his father lived to be 117. He died from an accident, fell off a ladder, broke his hip or something like that, broke his pelvis. And a couple of months later, he was dead from the complications of that, which is not unusual for older people. When they get a fracture of the hips and pelvis, they die of complications of that, usually a stroke. Well, here this guy at 117 was strong enough to be working and picking olives in an olive grove at 117 years old on a ladder. Hello. And so basically, between the book Immortality and the book Epigenetics, you're going to learn how to add 25 to 50 healthful years to your life. Even, I think, more importantly, add 25 to 50 healthful years to your kids' and your grandkids' life. And these diseases, type 2 diabetes, is easily preventable, certainly easily reversible. We've known for 70 years that type 2 diabetes is, in fact, a simple mineral deficiency disease. It's not genetic. People say, well, now, wait a minute, Wallach, I've got 5 generations in my family with diabetes, and so it's from one family to the next, and so it must be genetically transmitted. No, this happens because of a gluten intolerance. And, of course, you live in a place that might be low in the minerals that are necessary to prevent and reverse type 2 diabetes. If you're low in those areas and you have a gluten intolerance, you've been eating gluten because everybody tells you to eat whole grains, you lose the villi in your intestine. You can lose up to 85% of your absorptive surface of your intestine. Your intestine essentially becomes a smooth tube like a garden hose. You lose 85% of the absorptive surface, so it's 15% of, say, 20%, not very much. And so generation after generation, because this is passed on through cord blood from mothers to children, you're going to think that this is generational because of genetic transmission, but it's because of a malabsorption, because of a familial, not genetic transmission, but a familial gluten intolerance. And, of course, we have great detail in this book, Epigenetics, the death of the genetic theory of disease transmission. And we lead up to the last, 5 chapters where there's great detail about each nutrient, what diseases you're going to get when you're missing them. And it's because they result in an epigenetic dynamic effect on your DNA. It's not transmitted by genes, it's transmitted by an epigenetic effect in nutritional deficiency. Get the book Epigenetics, get the book Immortality. We'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Longevity Way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us today?
I thought we'd talk a bit about vitamin D, as I've got an ABC News story here, headlined, 8 Signs You Need to Be Getting More Vitamin D. And in one of the first paragraphs, they say, if you notice one of more of these issues, head to your physician to get your blood tested. But don't reach for supplements quite yet. You'll want to make sure that it's a vitamin D deficiency you're dealing with, since excessive intake of the nutrient can be linked to its own health concerns. I've been working with you, Doc, for 15 years plus and doing research on health all that time, and I've yet to see any studies that say if you're getting too much vitamin D, it creates some sort of health problem. I just don't see where that's coming from. And I think that probably if a person does have a physician that they could go to get the blood test, more likely than not, they already are vitamin D deficient. In this story, they say one of the key things, according to a registered dietitian, Kimberly Mueller, says muscle weakness, they say decreased muscular size can be a result of not enough vitamin D in the muscle and nerve tissues. Sadness, a study from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism of women said that those with low vitamin D levels were twice as likely to have depression. They say greater pain sensitivity. Insufficient levels of vitamin D can be linked to chronic pain and stress fractures. They say stress fractures, vitamin D promotes bone growth, and low in the nutrient, your bones could become weakened, meaning your risk for stress fractures could increase. They also say high blood pressure. Vitamin D plays a role in heart health and help regulating the blood pressure. Sleepiness, a 2012 study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine, said lower levels of vitamin D were linked to higher levels of daytime sleepiness. Extreme crankiness, they say vitamin D acts as affects the levels of serotonin in your brain, also impacts your mood. And decreased endurance, they say some studies have shown that a reduced aerobic capacity and overall endurance in athletes is linked to low vitamin D levels. And I would contend that most every American out there probably is vitamin D deficient and should be on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine or the 2.0, because that's got, 1,000 IUs of vitamin D in it?
Yeah, 1,000 international units per serving. And the minimum recommendation, you notice I use the word, the minimum recommendation, minimum daily amounts is recommended is 400 international units. Has been that way forever. And whenever a doctor says, you want to use SPF 7 billion, put long sleeves on, wear gloves, wear big brim hats, even in moonlight because they're afraid you're going to get skin cancer. And they say, don't take supplements now, don't eat egg yolks, and they've eliminated all the places that you would naturally get vitamin D from. You don't need to go to a doctor to see if you have a deficiency of vitamin D3. If you've been listening to your doctor, you're deficient in vitamin D3. So what I want people to do is exactly what you said. You hit it right on the head, Doug. Get on the 90 essential nutrients, get on the Healthy Start Pack. And, of course, if you have muscle pain, joint pain, you have hairline fractures, you have sleeplessness and all this kind of stuff, you're cranky, it doesn't hurt to throw in some extra vitamin D3. And we do have kind of the oral drops of vitamin D3. Okay, you can use those too and get up to a couple thousand international units a day. If you take 2 servings of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0, you're going to get 2,000 international units. Oh, yeah, and don't forget triple truffle chocolate. There's 1,000 international units per piece with 500 milligrams of calcium. So if you take 3 pieces of the triple truffle chocolate a day, you're going to get 3,000 international units of vitamin D3 and 1,500 milligrams of usable calcium. And, of course, I do that. I take 3 of the triple treat chocolates a day and 3 of the triple truffle chocolates a day. So I'm covering my bones. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Well, let's head to Florida. And Eric, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Eric, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. This is Eric speaking.
Yes, sir. How can we help you?
Hi. I've been diagnosed with bipolar type 1 disorder since back in the 90s, and I've been on a whole slew of different medicines, and I'm not currently taking any supplements. And a 2-part question for you is that can you recommend supplements that I can take instead of the medicines I'm on, the ones that the psychiatrists prescribe? And B, do you have a cure?
Okay. Well, let's start out with the first question. And, of course, we don't want anybody on any medication of any kind with the exception of statin drugs that lower cholesterol. That's the only one we can cold turkey off of. All other medications, particularly ones for people who are taking medications for headache and bipolar and depression and manic depression and schizophrenia and all that kind of stuff, psychoses. You don't want to cold turkey off of them, right, because you could have some kind of crisis, which could be endangerment and maybe even endangerment to people around you. So it's much better you don't cold turkey off of any medications that a psychologist or psychiatrist has prescribed for you. And so here's what I propose. How much do you weigh, Eric?
About 208 pounds.
208, okay. And so this is dosed by body weight, is 1 dose per 100 pounds of body weight. So 208, I would have you take 2 of what we call the Healthy Heart and Brain Packs per month. That would allow you to have 1 dose or 1 ounce of the Osteo FX Plus at breakfast and dinner. That's a liquid mineral calcium vitamin D3 supplement, an ounce at breakfast, ounce at dinner. It would allow you to have 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 NutriCrystals at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Pluses at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFAs at breakfast and dinner, and also you would get 3 of our selenium at breakfast and 3 at dinner. All that would be accomplished by the 2 Healthy Heart and Brain Packs per month. Now, there's 2 other things you need to take in to provide the brain with everything it needs to function properly. The brain requires all 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids, and you're getting all that in the 2 Healthy Heart and Brain Packs, but there is one category of vitamins that I always like to increase, and that's in what we call D-stress, capital D like David dash stress, and I would have you take 3 of those twice a day. That'll be 2 bottles a month, and of course you have to change your diet. Anybody who has any emotional or problems with the brain of any kind, whether it's MS or things like anxiety attacks, panic attacks, bipolar, I also like them to change their diets. No fried foods, no processed meats or nitrates and nitrites, no oils of any kind, no margarines, etc., no olive oil, and no gluten, no wheat, barley, rye oats. Call me after you get these things, and we'll walk you through it. We'll be back after these messages.
Let's head to California. And Omar, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Omar, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. I'm a member of your product because I saw you in D.C. I'm calling about my aunt. She's 65.
Okay.
5'5" and 149. She's diabetic, 25% anemic, 30% kidney failure. HBP 200, she went down to 188. she's on insulin, and she's taking hydrochlorothiazide, and number 2, labetalol, and number 3, lisinopril. I don't know, lisinopril. Number 4,
lisinopril.
Yeah, pravastatin, and number 5, glimepiride.
Glyburide.
Okay. She's 5 years or less from dialysis or kidney replacement.
Okay. All right. Okay, good. All right. Now, this is actually all quite simple. And do you know if she has any history of respiratory problems or skin problems of any kind?
The only thing I know, she's she sometimes she bleed internally in her eye, and it gets swollen.
Yeah. Okay.
She get injection for that, and she see black spots.
Sure. Okay. Well, here's what I do. We need to change her diet, because her diet's the thing that gotten her in trouble. And so we want her to be on a gluten-free diet. Absolutely no wheat, barley, rye, and oats. No wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Then no fried foods of any kind. No exceptions. No fried foods. Then no exceptions. No processed meats with nitrates and nitrites. That means no deli slices, no sandwich meats, no sausage, ham, bacon, bologna, salami, pastrami, pepperoni, jerky. If she eats canned fish, they got to be packed in water, mustard, tomato sauce, not oils. No oils, no olive oil, no coconut oil, no margarines, mayonnaise, salad dressings, cooking oils. And again, I can't stress it enough, no gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Then, because she has kidney failure to a degree, she has type 2 diabetes, I would put her on 2 healthy blood sugar packs per month. That'll be 1 ounce of the Osteo FX Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 NutriCrystals at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Plus at breakfast and dinner, and 3 of the Sweeties at breakfast and dinner. And all that will be accomplished by the 2 healthy blood sugar packs. Make sure that she checks her fasting blood sugar every morning before she medicates herself, because her blood sugar will drop considerably rapidly. And then also, because of her kidney failure and probably blood pressure too, I would have her take 3 of the Ultimate Daily tablets twice a day. That's 1 bottle a month. And they're designed to support and promote healthy blood flow through obstructed arteries, which is really the cause of kidney failure. That will increase kidney function. The creatinine level will go down, and our goal is to back her away from the dialysis. And also, the Ultimate Daily tablets will support and promote a healthy blood pressure. And give me a call every couple of weeks. She can start the diet immediately. It's going to take you a little bit of time, to maybe a day or 2, if she lives in California with you, to get the products. But she can start on the diet today. Give us a call every 2 weeks or more, and we'll walk you guys through this. We'll be back after these messages.
Let's head to Germany. And Gottfried, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Gottfried. You're on the air.
Hello, Doc. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
To you. I'll give 2 things. One testimony and one a guy who's hit the road. The first testimony is that one guy who is a doctor of economics was healed just after taking the product for 2 months. His eyes got normal. He doesn't wear glasses to drive. And then the second one,
okay, wait a minute. Did he have macular degeneration or cataracts or what?
He had cataracts.
Oh, okay. And just after 2 months on the program, what did you give him? The healthy heart and brain pack and some extra selenium? What did you give him?
The healthy blood sugar pack, because he's a diabetic.
Ah, okay. Very good.
And then the daughter too, the school doctors were making hoo-ha, so they sent her to the hospital that she have heart mama. So I told the father to share the product with her, and when they went to the doctors last week, they clear her of everything. No heart mama, they can't find anything.
That's 2 very, very good testimonies. Thank you so much for sharing those, Gottfried. And so it looks like all of your good work there in Germany is paying off as people are getting healed. That's wonderful.
And then the third one was a German guy. He's 50-year-old. He started taking the product for the past 8 months.
Okay.
But he said the blood sugar is not coming down, and he's on injection. So he's a bit worried that things will not be done properly with the product. So
okay, well, there's 2 reasons. There's only 2 reasons why somebody with type 2 diabetes or even type 1 diabetes, that their blood sugar won't come down on the healthy blood sugar pack. Number one is they're underdosing. What does this guy weigh?
He weighs 170 pounds.
170, okay. Then he would need 2 healthy blood sugar packs. It wouldn't hurt to get another extra bottle of Sweeties so he could have 9 a day, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner, since he's showing some resistance. But 2 healthy blood sugar packs per month. That's 1 per 100 pounds of body weight. The second reason is that a person might not have the optimal effect in 90 days is they're not absorbing. You are not what you eat, you are what you absorb. So I'd put him on a very strict gluten-free diet. He's got to be gluten-free. His spouse, mother-in-law, dog, cat, bird, fish, everybody in the house, kids, everybody's got to be totally drop-dead gluten-free because of cross-contamination in the washer and dryer, cross-contamination in the food preparation surfaces, the bed, the couch where everybody watches television. And so malabsorption and underdosing by themselves can be a reason that the program won't work. And if you have malabsorption and you're underdosing, you're really, really going to not have any effect whatsoever. So these are the places you look at first. And so you can increase the dosage of the Sweeties, go from 3 twice a day to 3 times a day, and then really have him work on his environment, rid his environment of gluten. I actually had one time, Gottfried, a guy insisted that his environment was gluten-free, and I said, no, you still have rosacea on your face, because I was looking at him. I said, you got rosacea on your face, you're scratching your arms. I said, you're getting gluten somewhere. So I said, will you give me $100 for every source of gluten I find in your house? And to make a long story short, I found 25 sources of gluten in his house. And he paid me because it saved his life. So it's worth even going to his house if he lives near you, and because a lot of times he doesn't know that meatloaf and meatballs are held together with breadcrumbs and cracker crumbs. People don't know. Gravy is thickened with wheat flour. Sausage-type things, so summer sausage, salami, bologna, pastrami, pepperoni, the filler is wheat flour. Also, they use wheat flour in ice cream as a thickener. They used to use things like tapioca flour, but it's too expensive now, so they've gone to wheat flour. And so they even use, accidentally, we were looking at some cashews that they put in a salad in a fast food restaurant, and it's just cashews. But when you read the allergy label on the back, it says these nuts may contain wheat because it's processed on machinery that also processes wheat products, like pretzels and trail mix and things like that. So wheat is everywhere. Barley is everywhere. Even in malted, when you get ice cream and milk mixed together, they call them a malted, vanilla or chocolate malted milk. The malted is malted rye, which means fermented rye flour, and you're in trouble. So you have to really, really be very careful. Dry dog food has gluten in it. Dry cat food has gluten in it. Bird food has gluten in it. Fish food has gluten in it. It's everywhere, Godfrey. So kind of get into that guy's house, find out what's going on in there, and then call me back. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Ohio. And Jim, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Jim, you're on the air.
Hey, Doc. I've got a 70-year-old male client who has AFib, and I've got him on 2 healthy bone and joint packs, selenium and Ultimate Daily. He took the supplements to his doctor. I told him not to. And basically, the doctor is claiming that the bilberry in the Ultimate Daily might interact with one of the meds he's on. He's taking Pradaxa for high blood or for blood thinning.
Let him get off the daily. We can do this another way.
Okay.
Okay. So I'd get him off the daily if the doctor says no daily, but I'd put him on the HGH, which is going to give him the same vascular dilation effect, and there's no bilberry in the HGH. It's just amino acids. Okay? But everything else you can keep the same, because I didn't hear any objections to that. And, of course, no carbonated drinks with meals. And just for our listeners, AFib, atrial fibrillation, is not a heart problem, although the cardiologist will run up $500,000 in cardiovascular procedures. They'll install a pacemaker, they'll install a defibrillator, they'll do an ablation where they kill parts of your heart muscle. They will actually do a retro version where they electrocute you to death, sing a little song for 2 minutes, and hope to wake you back up, trying to reboot your heart rhythm. And then if that doesn't work, and none of it will because it's not a heart problem, it's a back problem, they'll put you in the heart transplant list, which a total amount of, if you look at and you're doing all those things, that's $500,000, and it's a back problem. You have a degenerative disc disease between T1, 2, 3, and 4. The first 4 thoracic vertebrae, the discs get thinner, the vertebrae get closer together, they smash the roots of the spinal nerves that control the rate and rhythm of the heart. And the goal here is to make them thicker. So I'm glad we're not going to have a drop-dead fight with this doctor over the healthy heart and brain pack and the extra glucogel to make those discs thicker. And, of course, he's going to get everything he needs from the 2 healthy heart and brain packs, or the healthy, that's the way I would go, is the healthy heart and brain packs are the 2 healthy bone and joint packs, but you got to throw in the selenium and the HGH and the de-stress capsules if you're going to go with the healthy bone and joint packs. Give us a call every couple of weeks, Jim. Bring us up to date. We'll be back after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Longevity and 90 for Life Crusade. And Doug, let's go right back to Ohio. And Jim, second question.
Yeah, Doc. The reason I should have told you originally, the primary reason I had him on the Ultimate Daily is he's been getting some increased pressures in his eyes. Mm-hmm. And I was wondering if the HGH would still help with that.
Yeah, the HGH will bring that pressure down.
Okay.
What it does is it dilates arteries, which then brings pressure down.
Okay. Now, the dog I called in yesterday about with the kidney failure, mm-hmm. Her calcium is slightly elevated at 12 and should be 8.8 to 11.2 according to this chart. Mm-hmm. They're claiming don't give her anything with calcium in it. No, I'm assuming that it's probably the same situation as with people. If the blood calcium's high, then she's actually she's deficient calcium. Is that
exactly.
Correct?
Exactly.
Okay. So I get the stuff. And lastly, right now we're giving her 200 cc's of subcutaneous Ringer's lactate every day. Does that sound like a good thing to be doing?
Well, it's calories.
Her?
I mean, it's calories and fluid. Can't hurt.
That's all I need to know. Thanks so much. I really appreciate
Jim,
it.
You bet. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Doug, let's see if we can squish in one more.
All right, let's head to California. And Regina, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, hello, Regina. You're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, ma'am.
I had toothaches yesterday, so I went to the doctors, and the doctors looked at my mouth and said I have very loose teeth and severe gum problems. And I was just wondering, and they don't want to remove my teeth. That's how bad it is.
Okay. Well, let's see here. How much do you weigh?
I weigh 138.
Okay. Do you have any other issues with bones like arthritis or noisy joints or grinding when you move your neck?
Well, when I walk, I have my joint cracks on my knee every time I go upstairs.
Yeah. Okay, well, you have raging osteoporosis. You're losing bones out of your face. That's why your teeth are loose, okay? You have osteoporosis of the face. So get on a gluten-free diet. No wheat, barley, rye, oats, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils. At 138 pounds, I'd get on 1 healthy bone and joint pack per month. I would get an extra bottle of OsteoFX Plus so you can take a second ounce at bedtime with a glass of water. I would also get an extra bottle of the glucogel so you can take 15 of those a day, 5 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's going to help support and promote maintenance and repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone matrix, and bone itself. And then for the inflammation in your gums, I want you to take our Envision Colloidal Silver, put a dropper full in 2 ounces of water, and brush your teeth with that 3 times a day. Do that for 5 minutes. Brush all your teeth and your gums. Brush the teeth and the gums with the colloidal silver, and it'll keep the infection rate down, the infection, bacterial, and yeast load down, and allow healing. But you have raging osteoporosis is why you have this problem. And usually within a month or so, those teeth will tighten right up just like you put cement around a fence post. And so you can expect some great results here. Give us a call every couple of weeks. We'll walk you through this. But I anticipate if you follow things appropriately, including the diet, then you should be able to get the product very quickly here since you live in California, and give us a call every couple of weeks. Let us know how your teeth are doing. Let us know how the gums are doing. It's amazing how quickly your gums will stop receding and begin to go back up into normal position. The reason why they recede is because the bone underneath them is going away. When you support and promote maintenance, repair that bone, as the bone comes back up, so does the gums. And this is predictable as gravity, so thank you very much. Okay. Doug, how much time we have left?
About 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take it and remind everybody the new book is out, Epigenetics. Epigenetics, ask your longevity associate for Epigenetics and learn how to reverse diseases that your doctors say are genetic, which are really just nutritional deficiencies. Epigenetics, the book, I'm so excited about this. It represents 40 years of work, and we're so excited it's being published by a big New York publishing house. Epigenetics. Thank you so much, Shar, for hanging on and being here. Thank you so much, Doug and Susan. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs, and God bless America.